Scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a special layout. So for this one, I am making a layout for the Hip Kit Club design team. And for this one, I had these 3 photos and they are of my son Brennan on his baptism day. And he was just being kind of funny and silly in these photos, so I wanted to kind of play off of the fact that he is doing that he's being funny and silly. So I'm going to keep the layout kind of light and airy and very, very simple. That's kind of what I wanted the focus to be, these silly, cute, funny photos. So here what I'm doing is I am just cutting down my photos, kind of measuring them. I wanted them to all lay across the layout, kind of in a line like that. So I wanted them all to be the same height. And now here I'm just going to cut up this scrap piece of paper, and I think this is an exclusive one from Citrus Twist Kits, which I used to be a member of their kit club, but I'm not anymore. Okay, and then I wanted to use this Maggie Holmes Bloom yellow kind of, I don't know that it's a chevron, but it's got a bunch of different triangles on it, but it wasn't long enough. So I found another yellow piece of paper. And this one I believe is from Claudia Van R's summer collection, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Hot Right Now. So I'm going to use those 2 pattern papers, and that is pretty much going to be all the pattern papers I use. So here I'm just getting the other side put together. And then I am going to decide to cut down these 2 side photos just a little bit. And then I'm going to place them all along that middle row there. Then I decided to work on my title. And I had this one, I think those are from Pink Fresh Studio, and then these ones are from the Atwell, Fancy Pants Atwell collection. I really wanted to use the other ones, but they didn't have enough letters, so I couldn't use them, and I'm actually having to end up cutting down these W's to be N's, the letter N in the word funny. But I think for the rest of the title, it works out pretty well. I think I just have to, oh no, you know what? I do have to kind of make L's and Y's out of a couple other letters also. But I mean, that's the fun of being a scrapbooker, right? Is making things work. So you can see I want the title to be up there at the top, and it's just going to be funny and silly faces. So here I'm cutting these Z's into L's and this X into a Y. And then I am going to, let's see, what am I going to do down here? Oh, I was thinking, okay, I need another title or a subtitle because that photo to the left is kind of a creepy face. I love Brennan dearly, but sometimes your kids just make the weirdest and creepiest faces. So I wanted that to kind of be the subtitle. I end up not focusing on that right then, but I did have this stencil, and so I was thinking maybe I wanted to do some stenciling, but I tried it out on a scrap piece of paper and I didn't really like it. And I'm going to pull out, I think I pull out Tim Holtz one of those little circle dauber things. I don't know what they're called. And I'm going to try using that. I'm very glad that I did it on a scrap piece of paper because I didn't like it, and I'm glad. I'm just glad because I like the clean look of the layout, and if I had done that, it wouldn't have been such a clean look, and I think it would have kind of ruined the layout. So here I'm going to, let's see, what did I run off to do? I was kind of all over the place with this layout. I'm thinking I need another layer, but I don't really want to do too much to take away from the photos. So I had a doily and a little glassine bag, and then I had this this subtle pattern paper, and it kind of looks like bricks. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put that there, and then I can do journaling and slip the journaling into the glassine bag. And then I had a sticker that said a family affair. So I'm off looking for some more ephemera and things, and I pull out this little ephemera piece. It's like a blue crepe paper, tissue paper kind of flower, and I end up not really liking this. So I'm pulling out some, I think these are, I don't remember what ephemera pack those are from. Might be Fancy Pants, might be, yeah, sorry, I don't quite remember what those are from. It might be Fancy Free, actually, I think. And I apologize if you can hear the loud noises in the background. My husband has a bunch of friends over tonight, of course, the night that I decide to finally do a voiceover. So it's kind of loud out there, and I hope you can't hear them too bad. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on this cluster that I want to put up there at the top right-hand corner. I also have one down in the bottom right-hand corner of the photos, and then I'm going to do another one in the top left-hand corner of the photos. I like to keep my clusters to a count of 3s, usually. So here I'm going to decide to cut this heart apart. Sorry, I kind of stepped away for a minute. And, oh, I guess I set it back down again. I'm going to end up cutting it up because I just like the middle of it where it says, love you more. So, yep, now I'm cutting it up. And I'm going to kind of mess around with the placement of these papers and this cute little what is that? A rubber charm. I don't think it actually, yeah, it doesn't actually end up on my layout up there. It ends up somewhere else on my layout. So I had this cute little pink camera that I'm going to put down there in that cluster. I'm going to start gluing these things down so they don't keep moving. And then I'm going to glue it to the photo there. And let's see. So I had this acrylic word that said you, and I really wanted to use it, but I end up not liking anywhere that I was putting it. And now I have these cute little heart pieces that I'm placing down in that bottom right hand cluster. I don't think a lot of them, any of them stay. Actually, I guess one of them does. Okay, so also I had this, I don't even know what this is, like muslin or something, but I had this in my kit. And so I decided to put that right there next to the pattern paper, just kind of as another layer and another texture to the layout. And I really, really, really like how that looks. And I apologize. I'm sorry. They are so loud out there. Guys will be guys, right? So now here I'm just going to start gluing down the photos. And I'm going to decide that I want to pop this photo up, but I'm thinking I want to back it on either white or maybe a very light colored paper. I decide to go with white, so I'm going to glue that down, and then I'm going to cut it so that the border is just very, very tiny, so you can barely even see it. And I'm going to decide to pop it up on some small 3M, what is that stuff called? 3D tape, I guess. I couldn't decide whether if I wanted to do it or not, but I'm just going to decide to do it. And I'm really glad that I do. It kind of makes the photo pop off. And I think that one, this photo that I'm popping up, is actually one of my favorite photos from that day. Just, it shows his personality and me all happy and smiley, and yeah, so it's just a fun photo. So now here I'm gluing down these pieces that I wanted in that cluster. And I'm going to cut this strip of Maggie Holmes yellow triangle paper into a banner and then glue it down there up at the top right hand corner. I'm also going to use this Just Be You little journal. I don't know what you would call that. I guess it's just an ephemera piece. I'm still messing around with that rubber charm. I really, really like it, but I just can't get it to work up there in that top right hand corner. I pull out a couple pieces of, or I guess I just pull out one extra little label, and I'm going to place it there above that middle photo. I'm messing around with this cute little blue arrow, and then a couple more ephemera pieces. And they actually don't stay. I think the only thing that I keep on the layout is the yellow rubber charm, but I actually cut it down. I wanted this layout to be very simple. I didn't want it to be hugely embellishment heavy, which none of my layouts are embellishment heavy. But for this one, I just wanted the focus to be the photos. So, and since this one is my favorite photo, I used one of the frames, and I can't remember where I got that frame from. And it fit perfectly around our faces in that middle photo, so that just worked out perfect. Okay, so here is where I'm going to use that rubber charm, and I think I'm going to use a glue Zot, and I'm just going to put it in that label that's right above that middle photo right there. And it just says, what does it say? It says, "Stay true." Okay, so now I'm going to work on this top right hand cluster. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll use another rubber charm piece and this arrow. I did like this cute little cork that says "Photo Love." And then I'm going to glue down a teeny tiny little heart in both of the clusters that are around the photos. I'm looking for another one of those teeny little hearts that's the cork piece, but I didn't have one, so the top cluster just isn't going to have one, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes it doesn't always have to work like that, and I am good. Okay, so now I'm just gluing those hearts down, and then let's see, I think I'm looking for some more ephemera. But that is actually all that I'm going to end up putting on the layout. This layout took quite a long time, so I might cut out a little bit of this fussing so that you guys don't have to sit through all of it. Okay, so now I am pulling out some, let's see, these are sequins, and I'm just pulling out, I think it was 2 light blues, 2 yellows, 2 pinks, and then kind of like a medium bluish color. And I'm going to put them in each one of the cluster areas. And I really like how that looks. I like doing the intentionally scattered look. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but sometimes it does. And I really like how it turned out on this layout. So here I'm trying to use my Tombow Aqua Glue to put down these sequins, but it wasn't working. I usually use Zots, but I don't have the mini Zots that I usually use for sequins. I ran out of them, and I haven't been to Michael's in a while, so I do need to go and stock up on those again. So here you can see me, I'm like meticulously cutting up the glue Zot because I have the really big ones right now. So I'm cutting it into fourths and then putting them on the layout or on each sequin, and so it's going to take a while, so I'm going to fast forward through this part as well. Okay, so now here I am just finishing up. I think I've got all my sequins glued down, just kind of looking through my ephemera, trying to find another piece to stick up there in that top right hand corner, and I have this little cut apart that says the word "best" on it. So I'm just going to stick that up there, and then I am pretty much done. I do try to fit this little rubber charm in there, but it's just not going to work. And I pull out this acetate piece, and that's not going to work, and then I pull out a sticker, and so I really try to get something else in there, but I think in this case less is definitely more. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on the title, so I'm going to put down the words "funny" and then I'm going to move over to the other side and do "silly faces." And I know it's such a generic title, and I probably already have a million layouts with this title, but it just worked for these photos, so I was okay with it. I am going to move the first part of the title over because it was over to the left too far. I wanted them to be about the same, kind of hanging over the photos. Here I'm thinking it still needs a little bit more, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Teresa Collins teal tile little tiny alpha stickers. Okay, so now I am all done with putting out the title, or I guess it's not the title, it's the subtitle, and it just says, "And maybe a little creepy." I wanted to add a question mark, but for some reason this set of little tiny alphas doesn't have question marks or exclamation marks. It has like the weird, I don't even know what you call them, like the accent on the A and the E. It's just like, what? Why do I need all of those? So here I'm just going to put it all down on the layout. I think I'm pretty much done. I don't do any journaling on camera. I think I'm going to add the journaling to the bottom right hand corner. I might actually do it up in the top right hand corner underneath that little banner. I haven't really decided yet, but I will do it. I'm just not going to do it right now. I do add some gold Heidi Shine spritz at the end that I don't think I do on camera, but you can see them in the close-ups after it's all done. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I hope that you have a great weekend. I will see you next time. Bye!